Welcome to The New Fly Fisher. I'm your host, Jenna McKeown, and in today's episode, my father and I are the guests at Melwel Lodge, here in beautiful Algoma country. It's early season, and we're going to be targeting smallmouth bass post-spawn on lakes in the area. It's going to be a great episode, so stay with us.
Ooh, that's a beautiful one. Check out this beautiful smallmouth.
That is what you're in for on this episode of The New Fly Fisher.
The New Fly Fisher is brought to you in partnership with Destination Ontario. Vair Watches. Scientific Anglers. Trout Unlimited.
The shoulder seasons are excellent for smallmouth bass fishing in Algoma. My father and I love traveling to this area in the spring and the fall to target this species. There are many affordable and comfortable accommodation options throughout the region, from DIY cabins at resorts, motels, and full-service lodges. However, until recently, there hasn't been an upscale, luxury accommodation option in my favorite area of Algoma. Melwel, a formerly private facility, is under new ownership and has been opened to the public and will be our home base for our long weekend trip. Located on one of the top fishing lakes in the region, Melwel is ideally situated in the heart of Algoma Bass Country.
So we have a lot of amenities at Melwel. We have 11 cabins, timber-style cabins, a lot of beautiful pine interiors and covered screen porches. We have beautiful Big Basswood Lake, beachfront on Big Basswood Lake. We have canoes, kayaks, shuffleboard, basketball, horseshoes. There's lots to do. There's a playground equipment and things for kids to do. So, whether you like fishing or relaxing or sports, there's something for everybody here.
As we arrived at Melwel, we were greeted by some very interesting weather. Cold fronts and heavy rain had been moving through the region prior to our arrival. Accompanied by heavy winds on our first day, unfortunately making Big Basswood Lake, the main body of water at Melwel, virtually unfishable. After settling in, my dad and I decided to take the boat out and explore a different nearby lake that was likely to have lower winds. One of the perks of staying in this area is a high number of lakes and rivers available to anglers at a short drive.
Over there, I see a sand beach, which means over here, the females will be on the edges. The males will be in there on the reds. They'll stay for a few days, protecting the nests until the fry get going.
Spring in Algoma means spawning bass, which can greatly impact where and how you're going to fish. However, not all lakes spawn at the same time. For smallmouth bass, the spawn is triggered by water temperature. Typically, when waters reach a consistent 57 degrees or above, small males will begin making nests in the shallows, while larger females lurk in deeper water nearby. The lakes in this area can differ physically, and features such as depth, water color, and bottom color can impact the temperature of the lake, and subsequently when the spawn may occur. When fishing the shoulder season of spring, it's important to be aware and keep your eyes open for signs of spawn, as this will help you to determine where to locate the larger females.
Keep your rod tip up. It'll go farther. That was bass. Got him.
Nice. Ooh.
Let me just back up. Good job, Janet. Oh, that's a big bass.
Oh my gosh. Let me go
Not near any spawning beds.
for the net here.
You want to get them or do you want me to get them?
I think I can get
I'm
them.
going to control the boat if you're good with it.
It's pretty windy, so.
So,
Oh man, this is a fighter. There's a follower too. You see that?
get it? I can net it for you.
Yeah, I might have you come up.
Okay.
Wow.
Strip in, strip in. Bring him closer. We're drifting.
Oh,
I got him.
got him?
Yep.
Ooh, what?
Jenna Rose. Look at
Oh my
it.
gosh, Dad.
How's that? So the females have finished spawning. You can see by the belly. Belly's flat. But look at that. This is why we're going along the shoreline looking for the post-spawn females. The males are on the nest. That's, sweetheart, that's
a beautiful fish.
That's a four-pound fish. Don't cast there. See the sand? That's a red there.
Yeah,
But cast to the right.
over there.
Yeah. There you go. Look at that. Yeah, there you go. It's a little guy. Let's bring him in.
I knew there had to be somebody in the shadows.
I'm gonna go
there.
slow here, out, because
Okay.
we're shallow.
Oh, got some kick to him. Ooh. Let's get him over here.
You all ready?
Yeah.
Bring him in. Got the wind blowing us in here. Strip him in. Still a decent bass.
Yeah. Fat guy.
That's a largemouth bass.
Oh my
I
gosh,
didn't even know
it
they were
is.
in this lake.
Would you look at that?
Look at that.
Huh.
See the stripe?
After finding success with subsurface flies, we decided to switch things up and see if there were any bass aggressive enough to hit a topwater fly. And we were not disappointed.
Bass.
Got a need?
Yeah, got it.
Right.
Oh, it's a nice one. Look at this guy. We just switched up. I was using a streamer, and Dad says, well, you know, the conditions are all right. Why don't we put on a topwater first cast with this popper? Just got me right back to the...
That's a decent fish. We'll bring him this way. You ready? Head up.
Yep, ready.
A little more this way. Okay, head up. This way. There we go.
Okay. Whew. That's a beauty.
And that is a female. That's a post-spawn female.
That's a beautiful female. Holy cow.
Really nice, Jenna.
Thank you.
With the first afternoon of fishing under our belt, my dad and I headed back to our cabin, eager to come up with a plan for the following day. With the winds still incredibly high on day 2, we decided to stay in for the morning and enjoy a leisurely breakfast and prepare for the afternoon bite. On this trip, my father and I used both 6 and 7 weight rods at 9 and 10 foot lengths. While we came prepared with a variety of line types, there were 3 that we found most effective with the conditions and the time of year at Melwel. A bass taper floating line with a short head, which is great for turning over flies. A camo intermediate sinking line with a rate of 1.5 to 2 inches per second. This is a good choice when fishing depths of 4 to 8 feet, and when aiming to imitate crayfish near the bottom. A floating line with an intermediate sink tip of about 10 feet. We used this primarily when casting to depths of 2 to 6 feet. This line type is great to use when fishing for bass, but is also effective for trout. As on most trips, my father and I came with a smorgasbord of flies, as we like to be prepared for all conditions and opportunities. When fishing for bass at Melwel, we had the most success with the following flies and setups. The popper dropper. The popper dropper begins with a popper, 12 to 18 inches of 2x or 3x tippet, followed by a subsurface fly, such as a vampire leech. For less aggressive fish, the pop of a topwater fly may attract their attention. Check your regulations, but here in Ontario, anglers can use 2 fly rigs on most bodies of water. Tube flies, which are great for slower fishing and sit close to the bottom. Hudax minnows, which have a weedless hook and are great for avoiding deadfall. S3s, designed by Mike Schultz, which imitate sculpin, minnow, or other types of baitfish. Finally, a pattern my dad was really excited to try out on this trip was a trout mouse pattern, specifically a pattern called the pipsqueak. Other classic patterns to add in your fly box when coming to Melwel include the Scotty McFly, Clouser minnows, and streamers in a variety of sizes and colors. With winds slightly calmer, we headed out to spend the afternoon exploring another local lake, one my father loves to visit when targeting shoulder season smallmouth bass.
So my dad suggested we drive to another local lake he's fished before. That's the beauty of this part of Algoma. There is no end to all of the options you have in terms of bodies of water and where you can explore for fishing. So we've hopped out on the lake. It's a little bit warmer. I really think the water temperature is about 64, which is perfect for finding those post-spawn females. We're going to be fishing in the deeper edges, 6, 10, 12 feet of water in hopes to find some hungry bass.
Just bringing my line in, getting ready to
Good job, Dad. Let me grab the net.
To make a cast, and this guy hit about a rod length away from the boat. Don't know what it is. Now there are pike in this lake, so it could be a pike, but this is fighting like a bass. In this area, there's no spawning beds. This is typically a little bit weedy near the bottom. Oh, it is. It's a little, look at a little bass. And he took my smelt. That's the smallest bass I've seen on this trip, I think.
Here you go. Oh.
That might be one. Oh, keep it tight, keep it tight.
Keeping it tight. That, whoever that is putting up a very good fight.
I get that on the reel, John.
Okay.
That might be a big pike. I've got 40-odd inch pike in here.
Tight to my fish while also reeling up. Don't want to give him too much slack. This is not fighting like a bass.
No, it's not. That's why I'm thinking it might be a pike. Oh, that is the nicest chunk of weed I've seen.
I had a fish on there.
I know you did. Must have got off.
Well,
that weed put up a heck of a fight. Fish.
Whoa,
That's fighting like a bass.
it's fighting like a very nice bass.
You might want to get that on the reel.
Yeah.
Kind of bass. So we're at 6 feet, dropping into 20 feet. And this bass is probably on the edge of the drop off, cruising around. Oh, that's a
Whoa,
big bass, Jenna.
That's a huge bass.
That looked pretty big from what I saw.
I'm just trying to keep it tight.
And turn off
He
the electric
keeps
motor.
coming right at us, but also trying to get him on the reel. Oh, that looked like a nice fish.
Bending that 6-weight pretty well. And he took the Scotty. Oh, it isn't. It's a little stinky. He fought really well.
He did
He
fight
did the
really well.
head chase.
Wait, and we both had that pegged as a bass on that one flash.
Yeah. It was one.
Thank you. Ooh.
There we go.
Yeah.
You got the nippers up there?
Yeah. There we
you
go.
go. That was just too bad. That was a decent bass.
I thought that was a nice big bass.
We fished numerous spots on the lake, but didn't have much success. The issue? Visibility. Usually, this lake is relatively clear. But the high winds over the last few days had stirred up the bottom and left significant debris suspended throughout the water, which bass do not like. With the weather forecast promising low winds, high sun, and warmer temperatures for the next few days, we headed back to Melwel for the evening. Over breakfast, we discussed a debate familiar to many bass anglers about if it's ethical to fish to male smallmouth bass on beds. The issue is that when you take a male off the bed, even for a minute or two, the eggs or fry are vulnerable to predation by sunfish, rock bass, perch, and other species of fish. Many provinces and states do not open bass season until the spawn is complete for this very reason. However, some parts of Ontario, like other states and provinces, open the season for bass during the pre-spawn, as their research has shown that bass numbers were not impacted. My father and I came to the decision that despite the regulations in Algoma, we would not be targeting male bass on beds, and instead try to locate the bigger post-spawn females. With this plan in mind, we headed out onto Big Basswood Lake, the largest lake in this area of Algoma, and the home lake here at Melwel, with the goal of searching for warmer waters in back bays and sandy and rocky beach areas.
It's the beginning of day 3, and as you can see, the weather has changed once again. We had another front roll through last night, rain overnight, rain this morning. I'm sure you can tell I've gotten a little damp already when we were launching the boat. And with that has come cooler weather. So where this bay yesterday in front of Melwel was about 56 degrees, it has cooled off to 52. So with a little bit cooler water, my dad and I are going to be searching this morning. And by that I mean we're going to explore different parts of the bay and different depths. I have on an intermediate line and a streamer. My dad has on a sink tip, and we're going to explore and see where the fish might be sitting. No bueno.
Ooh, big laggy.
So, I just made a bit of a TV show boo-boo and had my fly in the water while our videographer was changing the battery, which you're not supposed to do. However, while my fly was in the water, I was keeping my retrieve very slow, probably the slowest I've done my retrieve since we came on the water this morning, and I had a hit. That is the part of searching and exploring the water column that's really important, is varying up your retrieve. When you don't know what the fish are on, especially after weather, changing things up will be the key to figuring out what the fish are going to be looking for. Now I know a slower retrieve is key. The camera's ready to go. Let's go catch a fish. Is that a fish? That is a fish.
Where?
Right there.
That's good, Jenna. We'll see it. He sees it. He's coming for it. Come on, take it, take it. There you go.
Got it. Nice.
That was cool.
That was so much fun. So I spotted that fish when we kind of drifted in here. Oh, nice. And this water is just so clear. I spotted it, I cast to it, twitch, 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 let it sink a little bit, and we got to watch the take. That is so much fun. Such a perk of this clear water. This looks like a nice fish too. Let's see here. Hey, buddy. Let's see. You help me with the net there, Daddy?
Yeah.
Thanks.
Good eyes, John.
Thank you. Ooh, not quite ready yet. I'll bring him up a little bit more. Try to get the head in the net for you.
Just off the beach from where we're actually sleeping up the hill. That's a nice female.
Yeah. There we go. Ugh.
Oh, that fly just popped out.
Perfect. Thanks, Dad. Here. Let me just wet my hands a little bit. Keep the slime on the fish.
Well, that's a nice female, Jenna.
Wow, look.
First one of the
at
day.
that. And the fish here on this lake, I've noticed the eyes are a lot more orange than they are red. That's so neat. A beautiful Algoma bass. We're in front of Melwel and we're working the front beach area, and we've got nice shallows here that drop off to about 10, 12 feet. And that's where we've seen a few cruising bass so far. So I'm casting my fly into the shallows, stripping it over that drop off, and then letting it sink a bit and having a slow retrieve. That seems to be the key.
After our initial success, the bite seemed to drop off, and we spent the rest of the morning exploring different promising spots on the lake.
So we've come to another spot. It's a little bit more sheltered here on Big Basswood, and I can see right across the lake there is rain coming. So luckily we have our rain jackets, we have our coveralls, we can batten down the hatches if it gets a little too rainy, but we're gonna test out this spot and hopefully we can catch a fish before the rain comes.
Despite incoming weather, we didn't give up, and it sure paid off.
Where are those big bass?
Fish.
Oh, what was that?
I don't know what that was. It didn't feel like a bass.
It's right here, wherever it is. Got it.
Got it?
Yeah.
Good job, Dad.
It's a bass.
What is it?
A bass.
Nice. All right, let me bring my
You
line
get
in.
the motor here. Point us out to open water. It's a decent bass.
Okay.
Not huge, but decent.
Yeah.
There you go.
Very nice. Good job, Dad. Oh, that's a beautiful one. He was in his lunch.
See all the middle chunks?
Oh.
Beauty. So I just caught that bass, which basically I poached from Jenna, and it was in about 4 feet of water, and we were fishing out in 8 to 10 feet of water because that's where we were finding the fish yesterday. But it's really missed it up. Not raining, low cover, perfect for lake trout. And obviously some of these bass are moving into shallower water. And that bass coughed up a big pile of little minnows, about 1 inch long. So obviously in here feeding. And we've seen 0 spawning beds on this lake. It's a cold lake, It's always about 2 to 3 weeks behind the other lakes in the area, and we knew that when we were coming here. So it's pretty great. We're basically fishing the pre-spawn, which is what we were hoping for. Gotta be somebody around these two big rocks here. Beautiful.
Fish.
Fish? Good
Yeah.
stuff. Right in the edge?
Right on the edge. Oh, what?
You got a fly still?
Yeah.
Oh,
What the heck?
there's one. There's usually two.
Fish.
Good job, Jenna.
Thank you.
Didn't I say this rocky point might have some fish?
Yeah, this is
We're in 7 feet of water here.
this. I don't know if this is a. No.
It's smallmouth. Yeah, I can see them.
It's about a little sideways. I need you to grab the net for me there, Dad.
Okay.
Let's see here. Oh yeah. Under the water temperature is a little bit warm. Oh, look at this little guy. It's like a nice little male. Right up here for you, Dad. Thank you.
That's the little guy, little male, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll just pop the fly out. Here he goes, barbless. Gently. There we go. Bye.
For those of you who value time spent outdoors, investing in reliable tools is essential to making the most of your experience in nature. A durable, affordable, and timeless wristwatch is the perfect companion for any angler. And that's exactly what Vair watches are built for. Assembled in America and backed by a guaranteed waterproof warranty, Vair watches offer the ideal balance of affordability and performance. Stay on time and focus on the moments that matter most.
As the weather got darker, we headed back to Melwel Bay, with hopes of having some success in front of the lodge in the last few hours of our trip.
So we thought we'd come in, and of course the winds have changed but again. Now this bay, which is basically Melwel Bay here on the lake, pretty much calm. And when we were coming in, we saw 3 big bass, about 9 feet of water, because it's so clear here. So I think we're not going to race back out and check some other spots. We're going to stay here. And even though the water temperature is lower than it was yesterday, I think there's some bass out here in the deeper water cruising around looking for food. Let's see how we do.
I saw a flash, and then my fly disappeared, and there you go. Oh man, we came back into here to the bay by Melwel. The water's still cold, but we saw a few fish, so we were hopeful and took a little bit of work. Okay.
We're having to work hard though, Jenna.
We are
Get
having
these
to work
fish.
hard. Let's get him up here.
Not liking this
Not yet.
cold front.
There we go.
Nice male.
Perfect. Thank you. Ow. Let's see here.
Oh,
Right through. Ooh. Right through the top lip. Beautiful.
you're out fishing your dad again.
As per usual.
Hey, I resemble that.
Of course, just as we're getting ready to head in, my father couldn't help but hook the largest bass of our trip. After a great final day on the water, there's no better end to our weekend trip than a final dinner with friends, new and old. My father and I had such a great trip to Melwel, enjoying the pleasure of fantastic bass fishing and high-end accommodations. If you'd like to learn more about Melwel or our show, visit us on the web at www.thenewflyfisher.com. From all of us here at The New Fly Fisher, thanks for watching, and we'll see you soon.
The New Fly Fisher is brought to you in partnership with Destination Ontario. Vair Watches, Scientific Anglers, Trout Unlimited,